Hey folks, thank you for joining me for day 3 of Vlogmas. Today I'm going to be talking about holidays in this time of year other than Christmas. So, I'm going to put on my... I love this hat. So I have a number of friends that don't celebrate Christmas for one reason or another, and I think that in a country that is so very saturated with Christmas, it can be easy for folks who do celebrate Christmas to forget about those folks, and that's not cool. That makes them feel sad or unwanted, or in some cases it can make them feel less than, and that's not great. I grew up in a very conservative Christian household in New Hampshire, which is not diverse at all. I didn't have a lot of visibility of these holidays growing up, or of people that didn't look like me or didn't celebrate the things that I did, and I want to be better. So I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to figure out how to move gently through the world. In order to do that, I need to educate myself. So this is a piece and a part of that. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and if you have any suggestions of great resources to look at, or if you have stories of your own that you'd like to share, I'd love to hear them. I want to learn about these things and to continue trying to be better. Do forgive me, I am going to be looking at the notes that I have put onto my phone with my lovely little YouTuber case, because I can't remember things. So, in no particular order, because I didn't think to alphabetize or sort these by date, which would have been logical. Strap in, this is going to be a bit of a long list, so this might be a longer video than usual. We'll see! I'll do my best to edit it down so it's not too long. Also, I should put out a disclaimer. Do forgive me if I mispronounce anything, or if my facts are slightly incorrect or blatantly incorrect. I pulled this from the internet. Everything on the internet is true. So first up on my list is Diwali, the Hindu festival of lights. It falls on the 15th of Kartik on the Hindu lunar calendar, and it lasts for 5 days. There's also Hanukkah, a Jewish holiday that is celebrated on the 25th of Kislev on the Jewish calendar. It lasts for 8 days, and it remembers the rededication of the temple of the Maccabees and the victory over the Syrians. There's Ramadan, the Islamic holiday that lasts for a full month, and it involves fasting and prayer and reading the Quran. It takes place during the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, and the first day is dependent on the time of the new moon. There's Kwanzaa, the African American celebration of African culture, and the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, created by Dr. Maulana Karenga in 1966 after the Watts riots in Los Angeles. He wanted to create something that would bring together the African community in Los Angeles and across the United States. And so this holiday starts on December 26th and lasts for 7 days, each day being dedicated to a different principle. I've got a link in the description below to the official Kwanzaa website, and I highly recommend checking it out and reading through those principles and just gaining a deeper understanding of what Kwanzaa is. There's also the Chinese New Year, which is a celebration of family and of ancestors and of Chinese deities. So it's based on the Chinese lunar calendar, so the date changes every year, but it always starts on the new moon and ends on the full moon 15 days later. In December, pagans and other folks celebrate Yule, or the winter solstice. It's the shortest day and longest night of the year, and it celebrates the rebirth of the sun. It takes place on December 21st every year. On the 8th of December, Buddhists celebrate Bodhi Day, which is the day that the Buddha experienced enlightenment for the first time. There's also Newtonmas, which is the celebration of the life and works of Sir Isaac Newton. It takes place on December 25th and is celebrated by some atheists and by people who love Sir Isaac Newton or who just really, really love science. There's also Hogswatch, the celebration of the Hogfather in Terry Pratchett's Discworld. It's a holiday that originates in ancient customs to make the sun rise in the middle of winter. Terry Pratchett fans are generally the only folks who celebrate Hogswatch, and it usually takes place around the 25th of December, give or take, or whatever day you're able to get all of your other Terry Pratchett fans together for a celebration. And last on my list, but certainly not the last holiday that exists out there, there are many, many more winter holidays. Last on my list is Candle Nights, a pan-religious, pansexual, personal pan-winter holiday created by the brothers McElroy of many, many different podcasts, but most notably My Brother and Me and The Adventure Zone. Fans of the McElroy brothers and their various works celebrate Candle Nights at any time of year because Candle Nights lives on inside our hearts. So what are some other reasons that people might not celebrate Christmas or holidays at all? Some people, they choose not to celebrate Christmas in particular because they want to be fiscally responsible. Some people want to protest the unrestrained opulence and consumerism that so often surrounds celebration of Christmas in a lot of countries, particularly in Europe and North America. There are even some Christians that don't celebrate Christmas because they believe it actually dishonors Jesus and doesn't follow any of his teachings. In a lot of ways, this makes sense to me, not only because Jesus wasn't actually born on December 25th, but also because it's really contrary to the way of life that Jesus and his followers ascribe to. Jehovah's Witness folks don't celebrate any occasions at all, other than an observance of Jesus' death on the 14th of Nisan, which is the first month of the Hebrew ecclesiastical calendar, I believe. And then there are plenty of other folks who don't celebrate Christmas because they have a personal pain or a trauma associated with it. Not everyone has had great memories or experiences with holidays, and it's important to make space for that. Mention of the holidays or celebration of the holidays can be very triggering for folks with post-traumatic stress disorder caused by abuse or neglect. So what are some things that you really shouldn't say to folks who don't celebrate Christmas? But why? It's the most wonderful time of the year! Don't be such a Scrooge! But what about your family? But blank is a Christian country! A lot of the friends that I have heard these things, and many other things, many, many times before, and it can be really exhausting aside from being disrespectful to their beliefs and to their choices. And honestly, it's not really much of your business if they do celebrate Christmas or if they don't. So what do you say to folks who don't celebrate Christmas? Well, first of all, you could ask them, do you celebrate Christmas or a holiday around this time of year? And then listen to them and hear what they have to say about their own traditions. Just in general, just be nice. It's not really that hard. Don't assume people celebrate the same things that you do. You know what they say about assumptions? It makes people sad and uncomfortable and makes you look like a jerk butt. This time of year is celebratory for a number of people, and the best way to live that out is to celebrate and appreciate everybody, just the way they are. So if you're curious about some of these other holidays, I've left some resources in the links below. If you have any resources that you'd like to share, again, I would love to hear about them. Feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll check them out. Thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with me for a bit. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you next time. Bye for now.